Good afternoon and welcome to the August 2nd, 2020, the 11 p.m. update of Tropical Storm Isaias. It's located about 40 miles southeast of West Palm Beach, Florida, and it's still moving northwest at 8 miles an hour. It's starting to slow down a bit, but some of the gusty outer bands, the feeder bands, are making their way toward the coastline, as you can see. Sustained tropical storm force winds have not been reported on Florida's coastline, but however, there's been some gusts around 40 or 45 miles an hour. So this is great news. This is just as we predicted, just as I predicted here on the Weather Guru channel. As a lot of the convection, as you can see here, is still located on the northeast and southeast quadrant of this system, and that is because it is experiencing a lot of dry air pumping in like this, coming across the state of Florida southwest, as well as it's experiencing internal problems as the system is having a hard time organizing. So we expect this system to continue to move northwest and then make a turn to the north sometime later tonight. So after that, after the 11 p.m. advisory, the next intermediate advisory is 2 p.m. And at that time, I expect the system to be even further weakening down to a 50-mile-an-hour tropical storm as well. Now, we can take a look at the summary here. Tropical storm warnings have still been issued for the majority of the areas in the cone, and that would include from Vero Beach, Florida, all the way past the first coast of Florida, Jacksonville, all the way up through Morehead City, North Carolina. Sustained winds are still holding at 65 miles an hour. I doubt they're that high right now. They're probably around 50 miles an hour tropical storm here, as Isaias is still in the process of weakening, even though there's a much flare-up of convection, as I showed you, around the center of the storm. Around actually to the east of the storm, sorry. So we continue to see Isaias. The next stop for Isaias would be a sort of landfall either on the South Carolina, North Carolina border, just north of Myrtle Beach and Conway, South Carolina, and Wilmington, North Carolina. Now, if the system picks up faster, let's say the high pressure picks up this system faster, which is up here. Let me show you what. If the high pressure picks up this system faster, is moving in the clockwise direction. If it goes north and something like that, the outer banks of North Carolina will be the only area affected. And even then, the system will be moving faster by the time it's up here, which would be into Monday night, Tuesday morning. If by Tuesday morning the system is picked up by this deepening trough across the southeast very fast, then that means that the outer banks of North Carolina would be the only area affected by this system. To me, that seems like the more plausible outcome. I don't think it's going to come up here and just make a landfall up here in South Carolina and North Carolina. It could, but granting the way it's slowing down like this, that means that it's feeling the effects of that trough already. So that's what we have, ladies and gentlemen. You should be for those of you in the North Carolina, South Carolina border, you're making their preparations. It's not going to be an all-day event. This is going to be a very fast-moving system once it moves past Florida. So you're looking at maybe 8 to 10 hours of tropical storm force winds. The good news is there is no hurricane force winds, so winds will be in the 40 to 50 miles an hour range with this system. And typically, since we're on the western side, most of the heavy convection is going to stay off to the east, offshore in the ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean. So even then, we will not be getting any type of hurricane conditions on with this system, and conditions are unfavorable for maximum hurricane winds here, our tropical storm force winds here. So the system will be weakening as of the next advisory when it comes out at 2 p.m. I expect to see they probably will hold it at 65 miles an hour, but it still will be weakening because dry air is still being entrained in the system, as you can see on all the satellite photos here, and that means that the system will be weakening even further, eroding the western side of the system. So we look at tropical, and you can see it doesn't really look impressive right there. We see some clouds, convection blossoming in the center, trying to get better organized here, but it's just having a hard time. So because of which, the system is going to be weakening with the 2 p.m. and the 5 p.m. advisory later on today, Sunday, August the 2nd, and it should be down to a 50-mile-an-hour storm. The pressure is rising. This is another trend too. The pressure was 996 millibars. Earlier tonight, it was 990 it was lower than that. So the pressure's rising, and now this deep flare up of convection. So this motion will continue. And this is what we're going to see throughout the day. The Bahamas did well. They took the brunt of the impact force up in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and on this northern Andros Island. Winds there were definitely hurricane force last night, maybe around 75 miles an hour, sustained for a little while, and then it kind of weakened and dissipated. They're still getting tropical storm force winds this morning of about 40, 45, 50 miles an hour. So we definitely want to keep them on our prayers and thoughts. But Florida looks to be in great shape with this dry air. If you're along the immediate coast, you may get a few rotating bands, feeder bands of showers that last 10, 20 minutes, and then it's done, it's over. And actually, some parts of the interior of Florida, obviously if you're in the Panhandle, you may see sunshine. It's going to be hot. Those from Orlando down south through Tampa, you may see an occasional cloudy, partly cloudy, but don't be surprised to see the sun come out forever so often as this cloud shield is removed, because obviously we're not under a big shield from this tropical storm cloud shield, because most of the storms are well offshore, if anything. So continue to keep posted here at the Weather Guru. Make sure you subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and tell everyone that we're the most accurate weather channel out there right now. And we would appreciate your support, and we would appreciate your dedication to us. And if there's any questions that you'd like to have, please leave them in the comments below. Anything that you'd like me to address, please leave them in the comments below, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you very much.